Welcome to the class on oxidations. Now we will see some examples on selenium dioxide oxidations. Just give me a moment. So the alpha protons, these are also like allylic alcohols. These also will be oxidized with the selenium dioxide. When we use selenium dioxide, what happens? The alpha protons on alpha carbon, that means allylic carbon, they will be oxidized. So we will be getting this product. The product in selenium dioxide oxidation, it depends on particular example. Okay, there is no thumb rule. In this case, the product is allylic alcohol. It is not C double bond. That too, it is a internal carbon. The product here is, it is a carbonyl, so it is again a carbonyl in the internal carbon. So this is allylic, this is allylic, but oxidation occurs in the internal. In this case also it is internal. Here there is only one carbon, allylic carbon, only one carbon available for this. We will get only one, there is no choice here, so we can easily predict the product here. C double bond O, and this carbon will be oxidized to aldehyde because it is a terminal carbon, it will be aldehyde. I have explained the mechanism using double bond, but I haven't explained the mechanism using carbonyl. Now I will try to explain the mechanism using carbonyl. When we add water to selenium dioxide, it forms selenic acid. Double bond O is there. One side it is OH. O minus will pick up proton from here. Water, when it adds, this is called selenic acid. This is called selenic acid. The carbonyl in its enol form, carbonyl in its enol form, so this is enol form. Carbonyl in its enol form will now attack on selenium dioxide. So this oxygen will attack on this selenium. Then one of the OH will be leaving. So we can write minus H2, OH here, H from this H from this OH. Oxygen, then again it is selenium. Here we can say intramolecular fashion or intermolecular fashion also, but I'll go with the intramolecular because it is very simple. Okay, intermolecular means we will add this water here, then double bond migration takes place, selenium 4 oxidation state will be converted to selenium 2, right? I'll go for intramolecular fashion. So this oxygen will polarized, will attack on double bond, then alkene double bond, these electrons are polarized towards carbon oxygen single bond, so it generates carbon oxygen double bond. Then selenium oxygen bonding electrons will be pushed to selenium. Selenium now it is in +4 oxidation state. After taking this electron pair, it will become selenium 2. Because oxygen is donating electrons, it will get positive charge. To nullify the positive charge, we are polarizing this electron pair, bonding electron pair towards oxygen. Selenium is taking electrons, it is losing electrons, so the net charge will be neutral. So the product is, I think you might have written all the above problems, right? At least take a minute and write all the above problems. Okay. So this generates original C double bond O. Then this carbon will bind to oxygen, and this oxygen it is binded to selenium and it is OH, right? It is intramolecular fashion. You can also explain this intermolecular fashion. Attack water here, then polarize this. Okay, so as I said in the previous example, then a base from reaction mixture will abstract this proton. Then the bonding electrons in the carbon hydrogen bond, like in DMSO conditions, it will be polarized towards carbon oxygen. So it generates a carbon oxygen double bond. Selenium, which is in +2 oxidation state, will pick up the bonding electrons in oxygen selenium. So it becomes 0. Then OH minus will be leaving, though OH minus will pick up this proton. So what is the product? The product is C double bond O aldehyde CO, because there will be two protons. One proton was abstracted and one more proton will also be there, right? So this is an aldehyde and we will get selenium metal plus water. I'll give some more examples. You practice them. Okay. Here there is only one allylic carbon. Here there are two allylic carbons. So we are using only one equivalent. That means only one carbon will undergo oxidation. Other carbon will not undergo any oxidation. In this case, there is only one allylic alcohol, and that too that one allylic carbon, and that too that allylic carbon is a tertiary center. So here we have only one CH bond. So only one CH bond can be oxidized. So we don't need to use one equivalent. That means when we use one equivalent, it will be completely converted to carbonyl, C double bond. But when we use half equivalent, there will be only alcohol generation. Okay. So here only one CH bond is there. So only alcohol formation is possible. So to avoid excess use of selenium dioxide, we are just using only half equivalent. So that is enough for the alcohol generation. Okay, where you can see uh, alcohol generation up to this. Okay, just one equivalent, half equivalent is enough. If you have one more half equivalent, then this oxidation will take place. Okay, we just need 2 electron oxidation. Here TBHP is used to improve the yield. When we use additional oxidizing agent like tertiary butyl hydroperoxide, the yield of the reaction will increase. You can write that TBHP is used to improve the yield. Please take a snapshot. I'm changing this page. Okay. In the next example, selenium dioxide and the dioxane, we have two potential allylic positions. This is the allylic position, this is the allylic position, but oxidation occurs only here. But in the and also in this case, it is just a 2-electron oxidation above the plane. It is just a 2-electron oxidation above the plane. We cannot say whether why it is only alkyl, why can't it be ketone? Okay, yeah, that cannot be. So it is a case sensitive. So in this case, it is only an allylic alcohol. Above product we can easily expect. Here there is only one hydrogen which is creating sterical crowding, but here there are 4 such hydrogens from this carbon, from this carbon. So there are 4 such hydrogens. So below the addition it is not possible, but selenium dioxide addition from above the plane it is possible, because there are 4 hydrogens which are creating sterical crowding from alpha addition, whereas there is only one proton which is creating sterical crowding for beta addition. Okay, so that is why beta addition is possible. So above the plane, alcohol will be above the plane. When we do Jones oxidation, what is the product here? This carbon may be a tertiary system and more sterically crowded. So oxidation on this carbon may not be possible, but this carbon is relatively sterical crowding is relatively low here. So this carbon is undergoing oxidation. Maybe they might have used only half equivalent for the oxidation, so that is why they are getting alcohol. Okay, then they are doing Jones oxidation, so to generate the ketone. I think there may be some problem in directly generating the ketone. That is why they have generated first alcohol, then a strong oxidation conditions for C double bond or ketone generation. When we discuss this problem, it is for stereo selectivity. We have two allylic carbons. This is allylic carbon, this is allylic carbon. When we use only half equivalent of selenium dioxide, if we use one equivalent, it should be C double bond. When we use only half equivalent, it should be C single bond. That means alcohol. Then out of these two positions, this is a tertiary system, this is a secondary carbon. So secondary carbon can be easily oxidized because it is less sterically crowded compared to this. So oxidation occurs on the secondary carbon, and when we look at the stereochemistry of the alcohol, it will be beta alcohol, because alpha, the methyl group is creating sterical crowding, so it should be beta alcohol. We can explain this using conformation of cyclohexene. When we have a simple double bond, take this as a twist boat conformation. This methyl is below the plate, right? So if we want to if selenium has to attack here, then it has to approach the molecule from below the plane. Because of this methyl group, it is not possible because it is creating sterical crowding. But above the plane, I think right here, right? So no sterical crowding, no sterical crowding. So that is why in this case, the alcohol is above the plane. This is alpha pinene. When we oxidize this, we need to write in a different fashion. Like this, so that we can easily express the stereochemical outcome. When we use selenium dioxide and tertiary butyl hydroperoxide, DCM dichloromethane is the solvent. What is the product? Okay, yeah. When we look at the alkene, there are two possibilities. This is one allylic position, this is another allylic position, and this is another allylic, but it is a tertiary system and bridgehead, so more sterically crowded, it is not possible, right? When we look at these two positions, which one can be easily approached? In this form, you may be confused that this bridgehead is very close to methyl, this is far away, but it is not, right? The bridge is just starts next to this carbon, whereas this carbon is next to bridge, but not this. This is far away from the bridge, this is very close to the bridge. So this creates very sterical crowd. The bridge creates a sterical crowding for this carbon, but not for this carbon. So that is why, because of the sterical crowding created by bridge, selenium dioxide will not oxidize this carbon, but it will oxidize this carbon. So the product is CHO. It is a primary carbon. If it is C double bond O, we can say it is aldehyde. Yeah, selenium dioxide oxidations, predicting the product, it is again a case sensitive. That means the product can be explained based on each and every starting material. It is not a common thing for all of the reactants. Whereas in this case, when we use selenium dioxide, we have a primary carbon, two primary carbons, and a secondary carbon. If you think primary carbon is more less sterically crowded, then out of the two primary carbons, which carbon will be oxidized with selenium dioxide? The carbon which will generate E configuration, that will be oxidized. So this is what is called E selectivity. E selectivity in selenium dioxide oxidation. Okay, so the configuration on the bond is E. Okay, so when we use selenium dioxide oxidation for a symmetrical alkene with a similar substituents, the carbon which will give E configuration to the double bond, that will selectively undergo oxidation. So this is again we can say regioselectivity. Regioselectivity in oxidation as selenium dioxide oxidation.
సార్
Yeah.
ఇంకొకసారి ఈ సెలెక్టివిటీ గురించి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయండి సార్.
Okay. These two metals, they are primary. This carbon, it is secondary. So these three positions are allylic systems. So when we look at selenium dioxide oxidations, these three carbons will undergo oxidation. There is a possibility. But which one will undergo preferential oxidation? This is a secondary. These two are primary carbons. So we may take that it is less sterically crowded compared to this. So we can eliminate this. Next point, out of these two methyls, which one will be oxidized? The carbon which will be oxidized, it must get E configuration to the double bond. After oxidation, it must get E configuration. Please look at this double bond. This is carbonyl carbon. So it is first number. When we give priorities, it is the first priority. This is simple methyl, so it gets second priority. Here, this is a carbon, so it gets first priority. It is just based on the atomic weights, okay, like what we follow for nomenclature. Then it is simple hydrogen, so it is 2. Then 1 are in opposite sides of the double bond, so it is E alkene. It is E alkene. If 1 are on the same side, it is Z alkene. Okay, so this is how E selectivity will takes place in alkene oxidation, allylic position oxidation. Out of these two, if aldehyde forms here, it will be 1. So 1 will be on the same side, then it will become Z. Okay, so that will not possible. If aldehyde is here, then 1 are on opposite side, so it will be E configuration. I'll give you some more examples for E selectivity. You predict the product formations. Okay, here also it is E selectivity. Here also it is E selectivity, but when you look at 1, 2, there are 3 primary carbons, 3 methyl groups. So you please select which carbon will be oxidized. When the carbon oxidizes, it must give an E double bond. The last example for selenium dioxide oxidation is ring selectivity. When we have a double bond and there are 2 possible allylic positions where one is inside the ring, one is outside the ring, then selenium dioxide oxidation will preferentially give the oxidation inside the ring. This is called ring selectivity. This is called ring selectivity. Okay, this is allylic position, this is allylic position, this is also allylic position. Okay, but this will be oxidized here. It is called a ring selectivity. I'll try to post some more examples in the group. Yeah, we will stop here. Again, we will continue tomorrow. Yeah, if anyone having doubts, you can ask me.